Hello everyone. This is an emotionally honest video, and I had an honesty video recently, also. This one's like a different one though. This one's a happy video, and that's really hard for me to talk about too. And so it's a little jilted, a little bit all over the place. I talk about secret videos in this because I have made a few videos prior that I filmed here that were special to me in secret, and this time, though, I made one of those videos, but then partially through, I was like, actually, just be brave, because I'm not a coward anymore. I've been a coward before, and that is so 10 months ago. So I am uploading this anyway, and I have like permission to upload it, like this is fine. So it is a very, special video, and a hard one for me to say, but I think you might like it. So, and I hope that you really, I hope that you do like it, and I hope you're having a good day. Enjoy. Welcome to another one of the secret videos. This one comes, this is the first of the secret videos. After announcing that secret videos exist, I just made a video where I talked about how these videos do exist. And I want to keep up the theming of how they have been, even though I'm speaking an introduction, which means probably eventually at some point I'll release these. But only after I feel brave enough to, because these ones are still really important to me. And so, for my own personal record, I want to know what it's like in a state of feeling very much joy, what it's like to record some of that and just talk some of the details of the night that I had yesterday with the fish, because it was excellent. I had wanted to all day go to karaoke, both with the fish, and then also I had invited one of my other friends also. And I was excited to just like spend time because I've been enjoying the time I've been spending with the fish a lot. And that's stuff that's why I even started making these videos in the first place, these secret ones, is because I wanted to make videos about the guy, the fish, but then I didn't want to, and so I wanted the experience of anyway. So I was excited to spend time together. And we'd been seeing each other in VR, maybe not daily, but frequently, and just having nice times. And due to work, I was able to because in the mornings I was wildly successful. By the way, I was able to uh, finish programming something in Flux for the first time, and it was awesome. And I was so handsome and successful, and Fish was there for that. And he's like, "You are handsome and successful." And I was like, "I know. Tell me about it." I'm a little diva boy. I don't know what you want from me. And then I went to work, and work was fine. And I was thinking about karaoke all night, and I had like a bunch of different songs that I could sing. And then I was pretty agitated being at work because I wanted to go to karaoke, and then Fish had the day off surprise, and so it's like, well, this would be an awesome day to just call in sick because I want to be able to hang out with the fish and do karaoke and see some more of my VR friends and just to be social and just have a really nice time. But then I got home and I was worried about time, and then uh the tracking was having issues and I got really overwhelmed, and I ended up just laying down on the ground feeling the weight of everything and just taking breathing exercises and just being overwhelmed. And then the fish was there and just being very patient and calm. And after it talked through a little bit and shared some videos, cheer me up, and then I shared some videos. And interestingly, I haven't told this to the fish. Uh, I ended up sharing the Meat Planet, Carl Sagan's The Meat Planet. It's a bastardization of something beautiful. It's so good. And then also two little other dorky videos. It's the song Fireflies by whoever does Fireflies. You would not believe your eyes. You would not believe your eyes. It's that song, but the only lyrics is "You would not believe your eyes." You would not believe your eyes, and it like modulates it, and it's a bastardization, and it's wonderful. And I was giggling. And then the other one was Freddie Mercury's "We Are the Champion," and and it's so dumb. And I haven't been in a position to want to share videos like that for a very long time. And as I was sharing videos, I was like, "Oh God, I'm sharing videos," and then giggling to them, and I am betraying the manner of video that makes me giggle. And sharing things which are deeply important to my heart, like the meat planet. One does not idly share the meat planet. It's such a good video. So I was in the middle of sharing those videos and feeling very special about, like, he had been treating me well, and then it's like, well, then he is worth the meat planet video, and he liked it. He liked the meat planet video, so that was a deep success of the day. And then we were just, closely, more, just kind of inching closer together and just talking and being very nice. And then my friend, who I invited to karaoke, ended up walking in to the world we were in because we had left it on Contacts Plus on accident. And he had saw that we were being very sweet, and he was like, "I will just." He said in Discord after, like, he made himself scarce is the language he used, which is a very polite way to phrase it. And then we kept just like cuddling and getting a little bit closer. So we weren't cuddling initially because at that point we were just friends, and he was just a fish that I liked. And I didn't know if he liked me back in that kind of a way, but we had been kind of being just anyway. And we just kind of ended up being a little bit closer, and it was just ended up being a really nice night. After we were watching our videos, we spent a good amount of time just in silence looking at the stars of the world that we were in that he had actually made pretty much for me, I think, for us, but it was a really excellent world. And he'd been learning Blender, and I'm sure, I don't know how much. Anyway, it's something that I received. It was very special to me. And someone just got walked in on again by someone else. And just while we were cuddling and being sweet, like we weren't doing anything dramatic, but it was very much like they were being close. And I felt irresponsible and a little bit ashamed, and it was like, what am I doing? Bah, ridiculous. And then immediately after that, I think, was when my headset died. And the entire night, by the way, one of my trackers was still like none of them were working, but one foot was working. But one was just like on my head, like I was folded up. It was ridiculous. And I felt lame about it. But I knew if I get up to try to fix it, I'll just get frustrated again. And the whole evening was, hey, I see that you're a frustrated little cat right now. Let's just go ahead and hang out. Let's just hang out. Not a big deal. And I ended up feeling very calm and not frustrated, even though I had a foot glued to my head because my tracking was all sorts of messed up. Freaking fetch. I forgot why I brought that up. So yeah, the tracking was a problem, and then we were just kind of cuddling, being very sweet, and then someone walks in, and I was like, oh God, what happened? And some of that too is I just want to comport myself with integrity. I want to be a good channel, and I want good vibes, but then also I just don't want to be like, I'm probably going to end up being a wiggle streamer at some point, and the whole wiggle streamer, and the whole thing actually, all you have to do is change the camera. It's such a simple trick, but I could absolutely do that, and we might do that as a bonus treat for the end of the video, a sample of the wiggle. I just got to get this story out first. And I didn't even think it was a story I was going to tell, but now I think that it actually kind of is. Which is kind of fun. Special, but fun. And this is the video I was too cowardly to make 30 minutes ago. And then I was like, well, I already made a video, so I'll just make a bonus video just for me. And then as it turns out, once I tricked myself into thinking it's just for me, then I think that this video also is actually kind of important to display because it's important to solidify things, and I feel too cowardly to want to even say these things out loud. And so I think that's why it's a very good thing to say these things out loud because there's growth that takes place there. I don't know. I'll think about it, but we'll try wiggling. What am I doing here? And then the headset died because my headset gave me a warning, and I thought it would give me a second warning. And so I had just barely come down from someone had walked in on me who, and I don't have a lot of like, I'm a YouTuber. Like, not really. Like, yes, but that's not really what's happening. Because if I was a YouTuber, I would do thumbnails and I would title things better and I would apply editing to what I do. And none of these things are my style. None of these is what I do. So I can't possibly be a YouTuber. I'm just like a vlogger at most. Like that's, and people have done that, but there's a very specific thing that I go for. And so it isn't exactly like, oh god, content creator who's another hussy. I don't want to be a hussy, and not in the frame of being a content creator, but Resonite's a very small place. It's a very small village, and everyone knows everyone, and I only even know like 10 people. And so 1/10 of the people I know thinks I'm a hussy. No. No, it's the worst thing that's ever happened. And it happened right after one of the best things that's ever happened. And what a roller coaster. And then right after that, there was laughing. Mostly the fish was laughing. And I was like laughing a little bit. But then I was also like, And then I start feeling a little better. And then the headset dies. And I was like, God. And I put on the other headset. And then I'm frustrated about the other headset, but then we end up being nice and close again, and then his headset dies, and it's just, we're learning how to, what VR is like. And also we're just really bad at cuddling in VR because how do models work? And either one of us has done that before, and it was just such a special time. And it feels like it's too special that I shouldn't be talking about it, but talking about it does help me process it. And I want to solidify, even just for myself, that it was a lovely and special time. Because if I leave it all in my head, and I recognize this now that I'm saying all of this out loud, inside of my head, I would absolutely unpack it and kind of process it and sort out all of these emotions, and it would end up being, I think, less special because I would not give myself the license to allow it to be special. So I guess we'll talk a little bit about how my brain is. Because I'm an emotional lad, I've learned to weather emotional storms. I've had to, because I'm such a spiky boy. And I can't be having my days or weeks ruined because something spiky took place. And I have protocols for emotional turbulence. And when you're in a really bad mood or a sad mood, that's turbulence, but also a really good mood is an emotional turbulence. And I've crafted over 30 years of being me and learning how to live as me. And I've learned during turbulence, these are how we operate. And we stay still and we have quiet days and we meditate on these things and allow the emotional strength of a moment to fade. And then we can continue operating under our standard protocols or whatever. So allowing myself to properly feel and express unemotion state is still really new to me. And this one is super new to me because I hardly know the last time that it was just a very, very special night. And I think maybe I'm learning something from not from buying in, I guess. I don't even know, dude. But I do have permission to upload this, by the way. So that's very good. And it was a special night. There's one other thing I think I'll light on before closing out the video. And I don't know what channel this is going. This is just a video that I'm making, and we'll see what I do with it when I do something with it. Because the other factor to the night is when I had a mental break, which is one of the other things that did occur, was I realized, like, I'm getting close to a person, and then that freaks me out because I haven't like done that for a while, and then he is a person, and then that freaked me out a little bit. But then recognizing that it's someone I don't like I've expressed a lot of where I've been because I just talk about my personal details on YouTube a whole bunch, and I want to know more about who the fish is and get to know him more personally. And I had that thought yesterday, and that's more of what broke the night for me. And it took a while to kind of like get back into the zone, but then all the other turbulences happened. And the big part of it all is I want to get to know the fish better and ask him just a little more questions about, like, so you know so much about where I come from, because I've made YouTube videos about it that he's seen. And I want to get to know more about him, you know, what's going on there. And I had a massive block because I don't open up to individuals. I'm still learning that. It's really hard for me. And fascinating that I can open up to YouTube and it's not a problem. Because I do consider these videos to be more or less for me. And I'm learning how to express these things. Like right now, I'm learning how to express happiness. Sort of. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I even forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, about how I struggle with opening up to other people. And this format, I can do. And it's strange knowing like I'm going to have thoughts about this that I'm going to want to unpack, and I do that in videos sometimes. And so indirectly, I'm opening up to the fish about what I'm feeling and about how special certain things were, etc. And it's a very interesting life I've crafted. Very strange life I have chosen to craft. And the more I live it, the more I was like, well, what did I do? Oops. And it's the whole thing like, well, if it's not the consequences of my actions, you know what? Who would have thought? And it's like, well, certainly not me. Certainly not me. But I'm just along for the ride, man. I'm just along for the ride. And I get way happier the less I think about my choices. But it does put me in some very fascinating places. I could never in a million years have expected this, nor could I have suspected how excellent it would all be. But realizing that I want to get to know this person more closely, that itself is new to me, because that enters the territory of if you get to know them closer, then you have to open up to, or you're just able to, or whatever. And that means that I have to open up to someone about kind of like where I've been, someone like what my past is, and stuff about like having bipolar disorder and how my emotional spikes work, and some like my past experiences with like the relationships that I've been in. And you have to open up to someone, and that's only fair if you want to also get to know them closer. And recognizing I've already done that. I've already talked to someone about like my divorce and some of like the past relationships I've been in, and like my experiences dealing with death and stuff. And I've been pretty personal on this channel so far. And on like my other channels, like if you just watch all of the things I've done, like you get a pretty good glimpse of who I am. And so I like I've already done my part, kind of, but it doesn't feel like it when I'm talking with a specific individual person. So if when I ask just more questions and things that are more personal, then it feels like now I have to get personal. But I've been personal, just not specifically. So I don't know what to do about any of it. And I didn't even want to make this video because I was too cowardly to make this video, so I made some other non-video instead. That probably, I don't think I'll actually even, I don't know what I'll do with all that footage. But this video, I think, is going to go out there because I think this video is a good one to put out there. And it's another kind of like honesty video, I guess, because I had one of those previously. And that video was hard for me to make because I knew that the fish would watch it. And so then I was indirectly being open and honest. And it was something that was hard for me to talk about plainly. And this video was also hard for me to talk about plainly. And I don't know. But anyway, this video's long enough, so I'm going to walk out of frame, and then I'm going to walk into frame and do the introduction to this video. And then I'm going to go live the rest of my life, because I need breakfast. I don't have any eggs, and I'm very sad about that. I'm going to find something else to eat for breakfast, and then edit this probably, we'll see. And it's not like it's going to have much editing. I don't really do that these days. I don't know if you could tell that. And then I want to work in Resonate a little bit because I'm really close to the project being in a workable state. So I have things I want to do is what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to be in a good mood while I do them. And that's new to me a little bit. So I had to make a video about that because that's what I've decided to do with my life, I guess. And I don't understand it, but I'm not unhappy with it. And it's actually really good stuff. And I didn't think in a million years that the Phineas Farmer experiment, after 10 months of doing it or so, would lead to this. And I don't know what comes after this, but I'm sure it's great. And that's interesting to me also. So I'm gonna go. I hope that you guys have a good day, and thanks for listening to my video where I was emotionally honest in a capacity which I'm not usually and is hard for me to express. Bye, guys.